Now we'll learn about installing Docker on top of a Linux instance. So you remember I had created an AWS instance, and this is my instance. I've copied my public IP and logged into the instance through putty. Now here I have some commands, some of the very important Docker commands. The left hand side command shows the Docker installation steps, and the right hand side command shows some of the important Docker commands. So I'll be taking through all of the commands in detail. So first and foremost, okay, so this is inactive now. I have to restart the session. I'll create a duplicate session. I'll log in as EC2 user. Okay, so now first and foremost thing we do before installing any of the packages, update the machine, update the instance. So to update any instance, the command is yum update -y. -y is just to tell that yes, my package should get updated. If you don't give -y here at the command line, then while updating it will ask for whether you want to install or not. It will ask for yes or no. Now it is updated. Now I want to install my Docker. Sudo yum install Docker is the command. They'll ask the confirmation whether you want to install it or not. So you will tell yes. Okay, so till here, let me just close this session. Yeah, so till this step you have already installed Docker. Now let's say if you want to confirm whether the Docker is installed or not, you can just type Docker. If you get all this detailed command and all, that means your Docker is installed. If the Docker is not installed in the machine and then you type Docker, it will give you a error like you don't have any package, you do not have any service name Docker. Now type Docker info. So it is telling that the Docker it is asking whether the Docker is running or not. Since we didn't start our Docker service after installation, and by default it will be in a stop state. Now I have to start my Docker. So service Docker status, it is stopped. Now what we'll do is we'll start it. Now if we check the status, it is in running state. Now we can check Docker info. Okay, sudo docker info. Since I'm not a root user, I have to use sudo every time. So here you see you get these details related to your Docker instance. So as of now, you don't have any running containers, you don't have containers, you don't have any running containers, you don't have any image, so it's 0. So now if I want to check for the Docker version, I can trigger a command called as docker --version. So it will give me the Docker version name with the build ID. So Docker info will tell you about the information on Docker server. In order to start or stop the Docker service, you will run the command sudo service docker start or sudo service docker stop. Now I want to add my EC2 user inside a group called as Docker. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is the command is user sudo user mode -a is to append, caps G is for group, the group name is Docker, and my user instance, my user name, the user which I want to add it to the group is EC2. EC2 user is the user which I am currently logged in. Sorry, I've added extra E here. It's mod. Okay, So what we have done here is we have added a user called as ec2-user inside Docker group. We do this so that next time I don't have to apply sudo after each before using the Docker command. But this will only reflect when you restart your machine. So as of now, I'm not gonna reboot my machine. I'll just leave it like that. I'll go to the next command. The next command is docker images. Sudo images. So as of now, I don't have any image. This is the reason it is empty. If you want to list out the containers, you can type sudo docker ps. It will list down the containers. So this is to list down the images, this is to list down the containers. Now I want to run a image. So to run an image, my command is sudo docker run hello world. Hello world is the image name. Firstly, when we run the image, first of all, it is gonna check inside your local machine. So it tells like you don't have any image called as hello world in your local machine, and then secondly, after checking inside your local machine, it will go to the Docker hub and then pull the latest hello world library. I will show you where is Docker hub. You can go to the browser and type hub.docker.com and then create your account there. And this is also free source, this is open source. I already have an account, so I'll just sign in. With my user ID and the password. Okay, so this is my Docker hub. Now in order to search for the images, I should go to explore repositories. So this is nothing but a place where you have a repository of Docker images. So here you can see you have Nginx, you have Alpine, you have Redis, MongoDB, HTTPD, Ubuntu images and all. Let's say I want to pull a Nginx image. So if you click on this image, here on the right hand side they give you the command to pull the image. Just copy here and then this is gonna pull your Nginx image from Docker Hub. Okay, so there is a difference between Docker pull and Docker run. So if you just use Docker pull and the image name, so it is just gonna pull the image from your Docker Hub. It is not gonna run it. And once you run the Docker image, that means you are creating a container out of it. So as you can see here, I type Docker images. I can see there are two images, hello world and an Nginx image. So okay, there is a difference between Docker PS and Docker PS-A. Docker PS-A will list all the active as well as inactive containers, and Docker PS will just list your active containers. So you remember we have created a container with hello world earlier. Since you have run the image, that is the reason you got the container here. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to run my Nginx container also. So the command is sudo docker run the image name. So I'm running an image now and going to create a container out of it. It's taking some time, maybe just because it is web server. I'll just close it and try to pull a Ubuntu image. So my command will be sudo docker run Ubuntu. So when you are running it, that means you are pulling the image from the Docker Hub and then creating a container out of it. When you just run a command docker pull and the image name, that means you are just pulling the image from the Docker Hub, but you are not creating it as a container. You can see the steps here. Unable to find this image locally is the first step, and then pulling it, and then later on creating a container. So to check for the container details, now if I check for the Docker images, I have 3 image. Now if I want to run sudo docker ps, for my ps it will be empty since I don't have any running container. If I add -a, that means it will be listing down all the run active as well as non-active containers. So I have 3 containers now, and here you can see this these containers are having its own unique ID, image name, the command created, time, status of exit, all the details. Now this is the command to stop your Docker service. Check for the status. It is stopped. Now you can start it and then check for the status. It's done. If you want to remove your Docker service, then you have a command yum remove docker. Now if you run docker, they will tell there is no such file or directory. But as of now, I need Docker in my next session. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install it again. Yum install docker. Okay, so this is all about installing the Docker, creating pulling an image, creating a container out of it, how to start a Docker service, how to stop a Docker, how to add a user inside a Docker group, how do we list a Docker image, how do we list the containers. So now I'll just go through some of the basic commands of Docker. Docker ---- version will show the version number of Docker. Docker ---- will give you the list of commands which you can do with Docker. So you can just go through this attach, build, commit, copy, create, deploy, all these commands, and you can perform the actions according to the requirement. Now Docker login. If you trigger a command docker login, this requires the login ID and password of your Docker hub. So I'll give my login ID and okay, my Docker is not running, it seems. Okay. Okay, so I was not given sudo actually. This was the reason I was getting this error. Now I have given the sudo docker login. You should make sure that whenever you are a normal user, you should always add sudo at the starting to perform the root access or to get the root privileges. So now I'm logged in successfully to my Docker Hub. So I have already explained about Docker, the difference between the Docker pull and Docker run. So I won't be running the same command again. Next is Docker images. So to list out the Docker images, we have two commands. One is sudo docker images. This will list out the image, and the other one is sudo docker image ls. This will list out the images. Let's say I want to list out only the ID number of this, only the image ID. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a flag called as -q. Similarly with docker ps2, if I want to create, if I want to just get the ID of a container, just add a flag called as -q at the end. And this docker rmi is the command to delete any image. So let's say I want to delete this nginx image. You can just click copy and paste the image ID of nginx. So what happens is, now it is telling there is an error, you can't delete the image because this image is already associated with a container. So one thing you can do is you can stop the container and then delete the image, or otherwise what you can do is you can forcefully delete the image. So to delete the image forcefully, we have a command docker rmi -f. So now your docker images, nginx image is deleted. To check, we can run docker images. So now my nginx is deleted. I've already explained you the difference between docker ps and docker ps-a. Now I'll show you what is. Before that, I'll just clear my screen. Sudo docker stats. So stats is nothing but it's like a top command in Linux. It will give you the system information. As of now, I don't have any container running, so this is the reason it is empty. Let me just open a new duplicate session. And yeah, EC2 user. And let me just docker run Ubuntu. In order to go inside any of the operating system image, what you have to do is we have to always add a flag -it. What -it is? The interactive session of your container. So you can see the changes the moment I entered inside a container. It is giving the system information regarding that particular container. I'll just exit with Ctrl C. Now the next command is docker system df. So it will give you all the details about a number of images, containers, a local volume used, build cache, and all. And the last command is docker system prune. This command is kind of one of the dangerous command. Why? Because if you click docker system prune, This will gonna remove all your stopped containers. This will gonna remove all your not use all networks not used by at least one container, and all the dangling images, as well as all the build cache. So dangling images are those images which are not yet attached to a container. Okay. Yes. Now if you search for Docker images, okay, because these two were already a container,